Hello there and welcome. In this video I got you 10 different tips and tricks for beginners and a good start in Necesse 1.0. I'll be talking about a lot of different things that will be familiar to you if you were playing the early access. I did my best here to rack up a couple of useful things that make getting into the game flow easier, and I hope it does its job. Now, let's get started with number one. When you go down in the underground, this is where you get a lot of your resources from. Just keep in mind one thing: mining is finite, mobs are infinite. If you just switch off the lights somewhere, new mobs will spawn. Putting up torches disables that. So in short, once you are running out of mineable ore in your hometown, you can just set up a couple of dark areas where you let enemies spawn and just do your farming this way. Eventually, you will explore more of the world, and eventually you'll never really run out of explorable area. But if you just have that itch to grind some, and you don't want to move too far away from home, just keep a couple of dark areas and keep in mind wherever you go, mobs do infinitely respawn in the dark, and they do have really good things on their drop table. At the end of the day, we can just utilize that to get ourselves pretty much everything we require. You see, everything of the early game mining process is found on Outsource too, so that's something that you can and should utilize. Number two, smart mining. So this is really just a minor thing, pun intended, but you do so much easier with this game. So here goes. Toggle smart mining. Put this on a button that is fitting to your liking, and once you have it enabled, the game gives you a slight outlining of what you will mine or so. If you don't have that, it's a pain to get anything done in this game, from hitting trees at the right spot to hitting your ores where you want them. I just prefer this, and it's a very easy thing to miss, at least for me it was, and yeah, probably you knew that already. Number three, crafting out of containers. So here's something that Necesse does really well. When you go to your workbenches, there is this use nearby inventories thing standard on positive. Therefore, just build yourself a empire of containers with crafting materials around your workbench and just enjoy the freedom of crafting out of the box. This is something that Necesse does really well, and I want to motivate you, so to speak, to get yourself a nice stockpile area around your crafting benches and have some fun with it. It's really nice. You can also automate these and put them to the workstation. Which brings me to number four, colony inventory management. So here's something really nice. Once you have a couple of people in your village, and really everything you need is just a house with a bed and a door, and that's that. Just install something where they can pluck food regularly from, and you're golden. A container added to the colony. Here goes one thing. I put this onto low priority and it just accepts anything. And then I went over here to my hardware emporium and just configured this thing here to just grab bars with a high priority. And all the other containers here are configured in a similar manner to just accept a very specialized amount of items. This way you can just have a dump chest or several of them, because you can just also copy these settings by just using this here and apply it to the next chest. And this way you can just drop into a container at the entrance of your village what you don't need anymore, and your friends and resident sleepers, this guy just needs a revival potion, will just do the sorting for you. It's really cool because that means you can focus on the gameplay that you want. All you need to do is configure the containers accordingly, that they have a high priority for the items that you want to have in them, and eventually your people will just sort the rest out. The more people you got, the easier it is. If you feel like the work isn't getting fast enough done, you gotta adjust your work priorities higher to walling, and that's that. Number five, keep trying out new weapons. This is something that I really found out to be extremely fun and interesting in this game. This game really does like to hide things from you. So this rolling pin here is a really fun weapon. You just throw this thing here around, but it also has a splash AoE it doesn't talk about. Many items have hidden traits that they don't talk about until you try them out, or Many weapons are much better than I originally expected them to be, and this is something why I really gotta say, Necesse has a load of weapons. Really, really a lot. You can craft a lot of different item types alone at your base, but you will also find a lot of different, more esoteric and obscure weapons. Try them out. If you like them, it's worth enchanting them, and many of them are even part of an even better weapon in the future. Therefore, at least collecting them and keeping them in your private stashes somewhere around your base is worth it too. Which brings me directly to number 6, the crafting book. So the crafting guide is pretty much one of your best friends in this game. You can put into here any type of item and you get a quick readout what you are able to craft out of it. I love using this when I get overwhelmed by the sheer wealth of items in this game and just want to focus onto something. Another nice thing about this, every item that is transformable into something else has this tag crafting material. You see this sometimes on weapons, but also very, very often on trinkets. If you just put this item in here, you can see what do you need and where does it evolve into, which is really cool if you are asking yourself whether you want to keep that because you didn't like the weapon or the trinket. With the trinkets, it's the same. Go for it and check out what you need. Here, for example, I already have a fitting pair of trinkets that I can go for. And as you see here, the crafted Lucky Cape itself is again a crafting material. So there's a lot of things that you can keep these items for, and therefore use that crafting book. It's really getting, it's really useful for so many different reasons. Number 7, explosives. So in your explorations in the underground, you will find a lot of explosives eventually. I really gotta say this game loves tossing a lot of bombs on you. I personally found them to be the most useful thing for this, just mining. When you see a big vein of something that you want to mine out, a single bomb, as you see here, really does a lot of heavy lifting. These bombs are found practically everywhere. There's also dynamite sticks. I mean, you can also just further enhance them to even more explosivity. You can make different types of bombs if you want to, but at the end of the day, while I was playing this game for quite a lot of hours, I felt like the best use for it is to blast away enemies that are stationary. That's also very good for it. Or just mine with it and get yourself a time advantage. This is, especially when you're starting out, a really, really nice thing, because later, when you got really good gear, you will have a fast pickaxe, probably even an enchanted pickaxe that does the job quite quickly. But at the beginning of the game, you won't. Therefore, just do it when you see a big vein of ore. You can save yourself a lot of time with that. So here goes number 8. Outsource annoying tasks. As soon as the night is over, I'll go into further details how to set it up. The thing is simple. Your people, your villagers, can do all manner of really annoying repetitive tasks for you, and I love outsourcing these. So here's 2 examples that I like to use. For one, smelting these ores, you can just tell them how much they should do there, or just do it forever. You can then copy and paste that work order onto several forges, and from that point on out, they'll just grab the stuff out of the containers and get the job done for you. The other thing that I like to use is when you go for the assigned work order, just assign a forestry zone onto trees that you want to have, and then just make sure that the check marks here are on, and you don't need to chop wood anymore. They'll do that for you. I personally, I don't know, I hate chopping wood a little bit in this game. I don't know why. Mining is okay, but maybe that's just me. In general, everything that you want to see done can get done by these people, with the exception of a couple of specialty things. So fertilizing and husbandry is bound to specific villagers. So if you see these guys that can do these special jobs, you should probably keep one of them, because it's a option to further automate business in your city, and I really like that. Okay, number 9, specialize to your playstyle. So here's something that is really, really worth pointing out. In Necesse, there's plenty of different armor sets, and This game doesn't use an experience progression or a skill progression kind of system. In Necesse, you are what you wear. Therefore, have some different item gears and sets for your preferred playstyle. As you see there, every different set does have its own bonuses. Some of them are more generalistic than others. Some of them are very, very specialized. Here, the Void set is a good example. So if you like spell casting, you should probably get towards there. It's very, very important to note that also you can and should have different sets of gear eventually to facilitate different playstyles. There's several areas where summoning is really the easiest way to get through the game. I'd even go as far as saying 75% of the game, but certain areas you just want a different set because it just doesn't work the way you need it to. Or you just don't like the playstyle and you want to play something else. In short, adapt your trinkets and your armor and your weapons to your playstyle, because this way you'll get the most out of your weaponry. Last thing in this regard, there's a plethora of enchanting scrolls you can find, or you go directly to the mages, where you can spend a hell of an amount of coins for to enchant your gear. It's very much worth to enchant your gear. It's giving you a substantial edge. Just consider on the low tier gear, sometimes it's not that much worth it to invest a high-end enchantment. Just keep that in mind. And lastly, number 10, base building versus exploration. So one thing I really find extremely fun about Necesse is that you can pick up pretty much everything and then import it back home. So these blueberry bushes here, I collect them all out of the nature. You can collect apple trees, and every biome has something in store to pick up and import back home. When you have it home, you can basically multiply it infinitely, but you will have to go outside of your home biome to get it there. So in short, you can allocate tons of resources to make yourself the game easier at home by just multiplying the things that you find around your town. But if you want to have more and if you want to substantially expand your options, exploration is necessary. In this regard, this is the core game loop of Necesse. You build at home the things that you recently found, and when you notice that you have everything automated and you have everything geared out that you wanted and you don't know how to get the next stuff, you go outside and go exploring again. One last word about that, don't really go too much or let the quests too much hinder you. If you want to go somewhere and you notice that you can't deal with it, go for it. But the quests are a really, really nice reward system that is so much worth going for, so as soon as you can beat these bosses, go for it. Preparing for the bosses is also easier the more stuff you have explored. One last side word about that. Partying up with other people, be it AI or real people, makes bosses so much easier. Just have a couple of revival potions or you'll end up with a resident sleeper like me. Now, that's been 10 things for beginners. I hope that helped you out. I'm already working on more material for Necesse. One thing that I'd really like to know for you is, I'm working on a new tutorial series. How much time per episode do you want to watch? What's the upper limit for you? What's the sweet spot? I'd be really interested. Drop it down in the comments. Upvote other people's if they match your idea. It would really help out a ton for me. Leave a like, leave a subscribe, consider donating via Ko-fi or any other given means in the box below. And many thanks to all the supporters of Icon Gaming. Nothing would have been possible without you. And of course, a lot of thanks for you watching this video still at this very point. Seriously, I appreciate you folks so much. Thanks for your time, thanks for your attention. See you all in the next one.